Well, good morning, everyone, on the 28th day of June of 2022. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, Maniacal S10 Shopping Garage. I am Mike. This morning, we're going to find out on my plasma cutter and what amperage for sure and PSI for sure to cut through a type of trailer hitch, which is the biggest I've tried to cut with this so far. And the amperage right now for cutting is a 20. We'll probably have to tweak it. And the CM, or cubic feet minute, on the air pressure gauge for my plasma cutter is 0.7 cm. I'm hoping I'm understanding this correctly for cubic, might be cubic meters. And we'll probably have to tweak that too. So I'm going to get ready to show you the piece I'm going to cut, and wish me a lot of luck because I'm more than likely going to need it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I hope you do. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much, and it's heartfelt, and thank you so much for subscribing. And any of the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and liking my channel. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm getting ready to cut here. And please accept my apologies for the background traffic noise, but we're going to deal with that. So, now the light's off on me. Yay! Hotter the light, brother. So I'm going to get the camera, the video turned around and show you what we're going to be doing. And by the way, I know you can't see me very well, but maybe that's a plus. An update on the Aveo on the clutch and brake fluid flush. The dirty of the fluid, at least in my case, was causing a slight sticky spot or catchy spot in the clutch travel. So when I flushed it on the previous video, worked out perfectly. I didn't know it would do that. So I'm learning as well. So that's the update on that. So give me a second here. This is an experiment. I hope it all goes well. I'm wanting the plate off of this piece. It's going to take some finagling, some finesse, and some work to get this cut off. I'm not expecting to cut it off flush, but up to where I can take my Milner Hoffman grinding disc and bring it down flush, and be able to use the plate for what I want in the future, and for this to be also used. And here's the setup. Bed frame, sawhorse. Works really great. You just got to figure out how you're going to do the grounding. So as you can see, and prep the surface. Other than under here, it's not prepped, but up here is, and that's the ground to the plasma cutter. A much better ground than what the factory one is, by far. And there's my plasma cutter. So let's get this show on the road. You're going to be seeing me in and out of the video, I don't know how often. And there's probably going to be, and I hope not, a lot of tweaking between air pressure and amperage. Let's get started. I'm going to show you all that I can. I might even have to move the car. That's the next project on the upper radiator hose. Safety first. You can hear me a little better now. Ooh. Now, sit down. too shabby. I'm going to crank up the amperage a little from 20 to 25. I might should have brought my lunch with me. And by the way, if you're getting spatter, which is a welding term, but the slag, another welding term, coming back at you, you're doing it wrong. It needs to go out the bottom once you cut through, but since I'm cutting through to start with 3/8, it's going to take a bit to get cut through it to get it going to the bottom, not coming back at you. Time to bump up the air pressure. Now we're at 0.8 cm and 25 amps on a plasma. On a Humvee consumables, which are the copper tip and the electrode inside of it. I don't know how many times I want to change this out, because right now I don't know if you can see it, hopefully, which you can't. Darn it. Probably can't see that distance either. Got the slag on the tip of it. That's what I have to do for now. Now you're going to need a good strong vertical or horizontal 60-gallon tank. I don't know if a 220 to do this. You're going to need 110, 120 psi out of the tank constant, and to be able to keep the pressure up on your plasma cutter. It's going to be a challenge. Okay. I'm hoping this will work. I'm going to show you the consumables. I'm going to change the tip. This is the only piece I'm not changing. That's the ceramic nozzle. I'll take these out and put them on the floor before I drop and break them. But these pieces are the consumables. Ceramic spacer, if I get it facing right. There you go. And the electrode itself, and it can be flipped, and the collar itself. I'm not going to change the spacer. All I'm hoping need to do is change the collar. And it don't take long to cool off. That's the good part about this. It's a wee warm, but not bad. The ceramic piece is a bit warm. Just be careful. You either wait till it super cools down, or just go ahead and change it out. It's a bit warm to the touch for the ceramic part. And let's see. I don't know how long it's going to hold the heat. So I'm just going to take paper. That should do the trick. Well, I thought it would. Okay, give me a sec. Just a wee warm, the reason I'm juggling it. Piece of paper will do the trick. If you can see this, I hope. Get the light up a little better, maybe. Get the camera up here a bit and turn it around some. I'm not sure if that tip's still usable, but if I flip it, let's see how this works. I'm going to clean this tip off a bit and flip it around, see what happens. Now I'm definitely going to swap this collar out. Well, I'll call it a cap. You got to get the tip close enough to get the arc the ground out to get it to start. And sometimes you just get a bit too close. As you can see, I hope that's what happens. Let's see here. Let me shut my plasma off for a bit, give it a rest. Let's see how good this, the good end, back end first. Okay, see how it feels. All right. Yeah, good fit. I just don't know if it'll work that way with the bad tip. It may not be all that bad. I think I'll just go ahead and use the ugly tip or point first. And not forget the collar or sleeve. Oops, and the new hat. The ceramic piece has cooled off considerably now. As long as the light stays green over the setting, we're good to go. But if the red comes on, it's overheating, shut it off. Let it cool off a bit. Looks like you're back in the game. Get this put up. And let's get back to cutting. And I'm not sure if this thing actually going to cut this or not. I got sort of a molded mess right here. I just want to get it cut off. Let's get some AC going. Basically a floor fan. Let's fire back up. I'll bring it back down to 20 amps, see what we got. less amp, see if it still cuts good, and with the air pressure, see what we got. Bumped up the air pressure by the looks of it by 10 pounds. Let's see what we got. I clean off some of the molded metal, steel. I'm worried about this plasma cutter. I'm used to the old school cutting torch. I don't even have this job done if it had been for that. So I'm learning on a plasma cutter, and it seems to be doing a trick what I'm doing now. So let me get this turned around, get my hand out of the way. Get some light on the subject. Still a green light, as we can see. Even though the red looks like it's on, it's not. But you can see the brighter green, which we're good. So apparently 120 psi on the air and 20 on the plasma, doing a trick, but it's thick steel. It's just going to take time to work this. And I cut the thicker piece of the 1 3/4, 2 inch steel here on the shank. That's going to be the big one, but it's going to take time. But we'll get it. But see here, you've got to keep this nozzle at about 1/4 to 1/8 inch from what you're cutting to get it to arc. And the thing I didn't do is prep the cutting surface, because you got to get past the paint. Once you get an arc and get into the paint, then you start cutting. You can see what I've done. So wherever apparently it's got to have a cleaner surface to arc it. Torch you don't have to. So there's the ins and outs and the pros and cons of plasma cutter versus cutting torch. And let me see here. Getting too close to the cutting piece and not clean excuse me, yeah, these we done spit and sputter. The prep and cut, that's what happens. And once it's done this way, it's over. So let's get back to this to see if we can get the triangle piece cut out, and we'll go from there. Left hand don't want to stay out of the video. It wants to be the star of the show. Not. Okay, let me turn this around. Not all too shabby. I just got started there. I'm not going to be able to finish all this piece up on this video. I got other things priority I got to do. I just want to get the basics down on this. So really not all that bad. I can fine tune this a little bit better later, but I'm going to have to keep turning this so I can cut the thicker part here. So as soon as that cools off, because it's mighty hot, you can almost cook a hot dog on this right now. It even goes through my gloves to where my fingers start feeling warm, like, okay, break time. So there you are. But we'll get it. So that's all for now, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Now you see me better. Oh yeah. And you've learned something. I have, and tweak the air compressor and the plasma cutter. On that note, stay safe, stay healthy. Keep the wrenches turning, easy on the knuckles, and catch you on the flip side on the next video, which I'm hoping will be on this, get this off of me, onto the G6, and do the upper radiator hose for the under the hood graphics. I'll have to move the air tube for people to be able to see it, but at least I know it's there, so I'm just doing it because I want to. Okay, flip it back around. Peace, everyone. And have a great one, and that's all for now. For Nike S10, signing off. See you on the flip side in the next video.